Have you seen anything about this?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So here, let's play this.
Mormon family, they have 6 kids, they decide to become family vloggers. So they film all these wholesome vlogs with the whole family and they get really popular on YouTube. But then people started to notice they had a really harsh parenting style. Like sometimes the mom would withhold food as punishment.
I'm only
Yikes.
going to say it one more time, and then you're going to lose the privilege to eat dinner.
She also took away her son's bed as punishment.
The bedroom was taken away for 7 months, and then you give it back like...
Oh,
And see, I just want to say right here, he says my bedroom was taken away for 7 months, and then he just gave it back.
Yeah.
And then she smiles.
Yeah. 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 Like she's like it's a funny thing. Like she's like it was a prank or something. You know.
Yeah. Wait, let's keep playing
A
this.
couple weeks ago.
And then one night, their neighbors get a knock at the door, and they answer it, and it's one of the kids from the vlogger family. And he's 12, and he had duct tape on his hands and feet where he had been tied up. He also had open wounds, and he was severely malnourished. The boy had been tied up by his own mother, the family vlogger, and her business partner. And he was able to escape by climbing out a window and running to the neighbor's house where he asked for food and water. So the neighbor immediately called the police.
A 12-year-old male showed up with tape around his legs Thursday asking for help, said he was afraid asking for police.
So this nice Mormon family, they have 6 kids.
Okay, so now we're just repeating it
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
But
Yeah. Wow. That's craziness.
it's nuts. and the thing is they've actually been getting some criticism for quite some time because they've had a channel out for a while. It's actually taken down now, but it was called 8 Passengers. And they had, I think they would call it like a stricter parenting style. But every time, you know, people online would complain to them, they would read the comments or whatever saying, you know, you guys are monsters and whatever they were saying. The mother and the father would reply and they would say things like, you know, well, you know, you just don't understand and that we love our kids very much and that you are just getting triggered and that you have some type of distortion field and that, you know, you feel as if you should be good friends with your kids. And we're not good friends with our kids. We're loving parents.
Okay.
But at the same time, you catch them doing things like taking one of the kids' bedrooms away for 7 months.
Right.
And she's openly said that none of the kids are allowed to have any privacy because kids shouldn't have privacy, and then that it is her house and that they're like just guests there.
Oh, wow.
And that she needs to know every single thing about them in order to be a good parent. What were the other things? So the 12-year-old that escaped the house and went next door or to a neighbor's house and alerted the police. The mother, whose name is Ruby Franke, and her business partner were arrested about a week and a half ago.
Okay.
So this is probably going to come out in probably a week. So you'll know when we're recording this.
Yeah.
But they've been charged with 6 felony counts of child abuse. And the deal with that is that in Utah, if they were to stack those, like let's say they were to get maximum time on these things, they can't have a sentence for more than 30 years of, what would you call it? Not concurrent, but
consecutive.
consecutive, yes. So she's looking at a maximum of 30 years, or at least they both are. But isn't this nuts? I mean, it was a family vlogger.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And they put all
All
of this on online. Yeah.
Yeah. Involuntarily, they put all of that out there. It's not like, yeah.
Yeah, and I think what is really a lot of this is messed up. One of the things that's, how do I even say this? I'm trying to be delicate here. It's not just the fact that they're doing all of these horrible things, which I think that they're horrible. I don't think that they're doing strict parenting.
Yeah.
I think that there has been a line that's crossed. Past that, to put it all online,
Yeah.
it's just kind of amazing, and I think that is actually another level of trust being broken between the parents and the kids.
Yeah.
Because the kids don't get a say in whether this should go online or not. This is what they do for a business, and it just, they film it and then edit it and put it online. And if the kids don't want it, you can clearly see in several clips that they don't want any part of this.
Yeah, and I'm sure that with with everything you just told me about it, I'm sure that she feels like that they shouldn't have a say. That it's it's her house, it's her rules, it's her video, her vlog, whatever, and she's gonna kind of do as she pleases.
I think that's exactly how she feels, because one of the things that were shown was she filmed having the puberty talk with her kids.
Oh, really?
And not just one of them.
Oh, with all of them? Or
Independently over time as they got to age.
Oh, jeez.
She's also in the past filmed like their first shaving, like for the little girls like shaving their legs and things.
Yikes!
And one of the videos that's surfaced is she gets the camera out, she goes and sits next to a kid, and she looks into the camera and she's like, whatever the child's name is, has been asking me all summer to shave her legs. And then she flips the camera around and you can clearly see the kid's like shock and like horror and goes, no, I wasn't. And I'm like, what are you ambushing your children now?
Yeah, there needs to be a little bit of privacy. Yeah, that I can see that as being mortifying, because even though like that maybe in itself, especially for grown-ups, it's not a big deal. People probably openly talk about like shaving their legs or whatever. But yeah, I mean, for kids, that's something brand new. You don't want that broadcast all over.
Well, that was one of the things that I was thinking before any of this other stuff came out that was a problem. Like, if an adult wants to vlog, they basically trade their freedom for money.
Right.
And that's their choice.
Yeah.
They're an adult.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't say freedom, I should say privacy for money.
Yeah.
And that's their choice. Sorry, I don't know why I'm having such trouble coming up with words.
Yeah.
But my deal is that I don't think a child understands the full ramifications of that. I mean, just imagine if your parents did something embarrassing and then they filmed it and you weren't cool with it and they didn't care, and then the next day you went to school and all of the children, your friends or classmates or whatever, watch it.
Yeah.
And I just think how embarrassing. And the kids have said on camera several times that they don't have friends because they don't know who to trust.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't want to be around other kids because they're embarrassed. And yet the mom just smiles and keeps on filming. And I think there is so many red flags here beyond all of the horrible stuff that they went to jail for. Or I should say allegedly.
Right, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And man,
Well, it's not allegedly. They're in jail, but allegedly did.
Right.
I should say.
There's another thing too, is that like, because you're right, when people put the kids on the channel, it's funny because a lot of times you'll see the opposite. You'll see kids who kind of want to be filmed, or like kids who want to create their own like YouTube channel or whatever, and people will have the commentary that the parents are like getting famous or whatever off the kid because whatever, the kid's doing something cute, they film whatever. And here you have like the total opposite. We have like the kids who have no interest in having these things filmed, but it's forced on them.
I think part of the problem is that they don't have any say in it.
Yeah.
And I think this is an actual problem with family vlogging, where you're going to make the center of your channel about your family, which includes your kids, and you don't give them a choice. Or even if you do, I'm not necessarily sure. It's almost like child actors. There's a lot of laws that are now in place to protect them.
Yeah.
But there's none of those laws apply to these vloggers.
Right.
And I'm not saying I have problems with all vloggers. There's a lot of vloggers that I watch that have families and once in a while show their kids, but it's not the main reason.
Right.
Like they could be, I watched this one guy, I remember he was outside in the garage working on something in the garage. One of the kids comes out sees that he's got a camera in his hand and just kind of like, hey, can I help?
Yeah.
But that was like 30 seconds of the entire video, and the whole video is probably 25 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like camera right in the kid's face.
Yeah. You know, I think the other thing too is that, like, you know, I know that a lot of parents are going to be like, you can't tell me how to like parent my kids or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that you have to have a general like interest in like you have to like your kids, you know, for the people that they are. Otherwise, you're basically just seeing them as like property or not as individuals.
Something to mold or something. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, and as young as they are, I mean, I think that you just have to respect them for the person that they are, who they're becoming, and enjoy being around them, enjoy that, you know, enjoy learning about them. Like, yeah, you're their parent, you're their disciplinary, you know, you're their protector, but at the same time, like, you have to enjoy who they are, because otherwise it's going to lead to something like you have no interest in who they are as a person.
Well, evidently people have been sounding the alarm for quite a while. And, you know, the show was called 8 Passengers, which, you know, 6 kids, 2 adults.
Yeah.
Okay. But their oldest kid is out of the house now because she went away to college. And when she went away to college, she started finding out that a lot of the ways that she was raised and things that happened inside of her house are not normal because she started talking to other people.
Yeah.
And then she kind of distanced herself from the family. This is what I'm reading online and what people are reporting. But the oldest daughter actually had called the authorities before. She called the authorities a couple years ago because she was scared that her younger brothers and sisters were in the house with no one around. And her mom had left for St. George to hang out with her friend for like 5 days.
Oh, wow.
And she was trying to get the authorities over there, and they went over there and they looked and they could see the kids through the window. They couldn't get any of them to come to the door. They couldn't get any of them to open the window to talk. And they eventually just went upstairs where they were out of sight. And then the police had to leave because they were like, I don't see any crime being committed here. You know, this could be just, I'm going to guess they're thinking like maybe babysitting or something like that. Did
they knock on the door?
They did. But
nobody came to the door?
The kids could be seen through the window, but didn't actually have contact with the police or DCFS or whoever came out at the time. Then when this happened a week and a half ago, she had posted, the oldest daughter, it's about time. I hope that my brothers and sisters are safe, or something to that effect. I don't have the exact quote here. But then there's also her sister, the mother's sisters. They all have online accounts, and they're all influencers. And they also posted, you know, we've seen a lot of things over time, and we've tried to say things to her, but I guess it fell on deaf ears. And so they have been posting kind of the same effect of like, it's about time.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Which is just nuts that everyone around her is like, oh, and the husband is, they're separated now.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole thing just makes me feel like back in the day when people were making comments and you were making comments back where you were saying, oh, you guys are just triggered and you live in like this distortion field and that we know what's best. And I just think, what is it going to take to get through to you? Now she could lose her freedom.
Yeah. And was like, so the husband wasn't in on that type of behavior or treatment of the kids with the vlogging. Was he like agreed to that?
In the videos, it looked like he was saying, this is what we agreed to.
Oh.
But I can't tell if when the cameras were off, if he didn't always agree to them.
Yeah.
There was one moment where she was complaining about the kids leaving things around the house. She went around the house. She picked up everything that was out of place, threw it in a garbage bag. Then at the dinner table, held up the garbage bag and said, since you guys aren't going to pick up, I went around the house and I grabbed everything. I'm going to throw all this away. The oldest kid that was still in the house said, hey, that's my homework. It's like, I need that back. And she was like, oh, no. You can, if you want something out of this garbage bag, you can pay me.
Oh, no.
And he said, that's like half my grade. I need to turn that in tomorrow. And she's like, well, you can pay me for it. Unless, and then she looked over at the husband like, do you have something else? And then he suggested that he could do a chore to get it back. And I just thought, what are you doing? And she was saying, I need to teach you the value of these things. And I'm thinking, what?
Yeah. Okay. So, man, listen, I'm not some parental expert, but like, so they have multiple children, obviously
6.
you know, and so I'm sure there's a lot going on in the home.
Sure.
You know, all different ages, not like they're all twins, so not all the same age. Not
Right. They're all different ages.
But like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, we've been kids before. We've had our own chores. You know, we've had, you know, things like that. Like, I don't necessarily, you know, and I have a situation now where like, you know, my kids will play with some stuff and then they'll just leave the stuff on the floor and then move on to something else. But, and I'm sure it's different with having multiple kids, but like, there's got to be a way. There's got to be some type of conversation before you put all their stuff in the bag. Because,
But even if there was, would you throw away their homework?
No, not at all. You know, and even if you're using that as a scare tactic, you know, I mean, hopefully, you know, I don't know, because I don't know the situation after that. So hopefully, you know, the lesson might have been like, listen, I'm tired of telling you guys to clean up after yourselves. You know, if it keeps happening like this, then this is going to be the solution by me. I'm going to put everything in the bag. And I'm just going to assume you don't care about it because you're just leaving it all over.
Okay. Here's another thing.
Yeah.
One of the kids was playing with what looked like children's scissors. What would you call them? Like safety scissors or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. And she had cut something. And so the mom explained, if you cut something one more time in my house, and this kid has got to be, I don't know, 4.
Yeah.
She picks up her favorite stuffed animal and goes, I'm going to cut the head off of this. Now,
was it a craft? They were doing like a craft, so to cut paper or whatever, or
I'm not even entirely sure because the channel's been taken down. So the only thing I got to see was what was clips from other people's channels. But, you know, a child of that age probably equates that stuffed animal to like a best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, as an adult, we would go, well, that's just, you know, an item or a thing or, you know, but it's almost like the equivalent of saying, I'll cut the head off your friend.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that seems super harsh.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and that could be very traumatic, especially for the kid if the parent follows through on doing that.
Like if you're one of your kids cut something in the house, what would you do?
Well, I don't know.
Like a timeout or something, or
yeah, something similar. I mean, I could totally see a parent, depending on what it is, like in the previous behavior. Like if a child did that, you know, out of spite or to make another sibling angry or something like that. If they didn't care and like cut somebody, you know, their siblings' clothes or something like that with the scissors, I could see like, I don't know, I would necessarily cut up another stuffed animal in front of them as easy as like,
I mean, they didn't.
I'm going to throw it away.
They didn't actually end up doing that, but they were just, that was the threat, and the kid instantly started crying. Or another time, a teacher called her or texted her and said the 5-year-old had forgot their lunch at home and asked if the mom could drop off a lunch. Then the mom explained to the teacher, no, it's that child's responsibility to prepare their lunch in the morning. And I asked them if they did, and they said yes. And then she explained to the camera, I hope nobody else gets uncomfortable with my kid going hungry for the day. I want her to be hungry so that she learns her lesson.
That's crazy.
And it's like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And the other thing is that the kid that went next door, the 12-year-old, the guy was saying that he seemed malnourished. And I'm just thinking,
oh yeah,
you know, a child during developmental stages, if you don't feed them enough food, it can stunt their growth. It can cause other long-term effects. I mean, it's one thing for an adult to like go without a meal or maybe go without food for a day, but a child that is exceptionally bad.
right. Yeah.
And I just think that is way over the line.
Yeah. That in that instance, that definitely wasn't the right punishment or lesson to teach a child. I mean, you could easily do something else and say, I'm going to bring you your lunch since you forgot it, but when you come home, no electronics or whatever. You have an extra
TV
chore or
or
something.
yeah.
Because whatever, you're supposed to remember your lunch or that's your whatever. But yeah, to not bring them, that's a little crazy.
Yeah, I felt that was excessive. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone's talking about the things that she got arrested for because they are horrible. But on the side, past all of the stuff that's illegal, I mean, they arrested her for it. I'm just thinking, when you basically sell your kids' privacy online as a business,
Yeah.
there has been so many child actors that have grown up, and even the ones that are like completely well-adjusted, they will say in interviews, wow, I was really lucky
Yeah.
because I was put in a lot of these situations that children shouldn't be put in, and I'm surprised that I'm not screwed up. And others are just screwed up. And I almost feel like it's a trope nowadays to talk about childhood actors. What is the long-term effects from this? Like, vlogging has not been around long enough for us to know what's going to happen when they're 20 or 30 or something.
Yeah, but once again, it's easily can be related to just like some childhood trauma. Like, there's no way to know how this is going to manifest itself later on in those.
I think this
kids'
entire
lives.
environment is childhood trauma.
Yeah, yeah, and so I mean, it'll be, you'll be able to see. I was going to say it'll be interesting, and not like interesting in that way. Not like this is going to be fun for the kids or whatever, but it'll just be interesting to see how that trauma manifests itself later on in the kids' lives. Hopefully, because you said it was the mother and her business partner, like it wasn't the husband that got arrested.
No, it was the mother and the business partner that got arrested. The husband seems to be, I mean, in the kids' lives, but not in, like, he was in court.
Yeah.
And I think the oldest boy, the second oldest child, lives with him now.
Okay.
But the younger kids were with her. But when you look at the older videos, they seem to all be doing these things.
Yeah.
But you don't know what's going on off camera.
Right. Yeah.
But either way, consenting, basically have your children in this environment the entire time, I think that is also screwed up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to say before, like, hopefully the husband or the father is, maybe he's not having the same persuasion. So maybe he will be a little bit more of a support system for the kids going forward.
Right.
Hopefully, because they're going to need that. I mean, it sounds, very traumatic for all of them, all ages of the kids.